So guys, we are back at Tad Locksmith. Today, Jamarcus and I were talking about this the other day, man. So one of the things that's important in getting a vet's perspective is, Tad, I talked to him about being an entrepreneur and what it's like opening up a clinic. And I was explaining something in a video to people, kind of like, they see me and they think I'm a breeder, but I'm like, guys, I'm a business guy and I breed to teach. And I don't want to be marginalized, right? And so I always tell the story, you're not around for it, but we're here with him now where, I come in, I'm talking to this guy and he gives me a sticky note and it's with the businesses and he says, I think we could, participate in that. So I said, what do we need, Kind of start walking down that road and it's not easy, but I think it's well worth it. So what is it like being an entrepreneur? What's it like starting your first clinic or a clinic?
Oh, stressful. It's one of those, if you go from ground up, all the permitting, and I was lucky I had people to do that for me, get all the permits, get the building, do all of that. But then you got to have staffing. What is the layout? What's the blueprint of the building? We went through probably 4 or 5 of them. Nope, we moved that there. Nope, move it back. Flip these, move this. This doesn't make sense. That needs a wall. Other than that, it's just staffing. You got clients that are going to breathe down your neck all the time, which doesn't matter if you open it or not. Yeah. Just if you open it, now you're the boss and you actually have to deal with it versus just pushing it off on somebody else, a lonely old associate. It's just stress. What kind of stress do you want?
Now, one of the things I learned about the vet space from you was that there are basically 4 key players or 3 to 4 key players that help start everybody's clinic. We've got the big bad Banfield. I won't call no names even though I said their name. What are the other ones that kind of help vets get off the ground? And is there anyone you would recommend vets working with?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know enough about any of them besides the one here. There's Banfield, there's VCA, Blue Pearl, Thrive, City Vet, Southern Veterinary Partners, Mission Veterinary Partners.
And these are all companies that help people like you coming out of school start their clinic.
I don't know. I know those are some of the corporate. I know there's more. There's NVA. I don't know how many of them are doing these build-ups. I don't know. But they own a bunch of clinics, whether you know it or not. Everything, no matter what business you're in, everything's getting corporate backing.
Now that's interesting because when I came in here, I'm like, oh, this is nice guy. And he starts walking me through the structure of the business, which I think makes it even more interesting because they'll see you, the vet, killing it, taking care of the dogs, animals, cats, whoever comes in. You don't do small rodents, do you? You don't do but he does go do cows and horses.
Yeah, no rodents, no reptiles.
That's a whole nother thing, isn't it?
No birds.
No birds either?
No birds.
Damn. Here I was going to get me a parrot.
Can't help your parrot, can't help your parakeet.
I'm playing the things that fucking
can't help your hedgehog.
What keeps you so competitive, man? Because we'll go somewhere with this, people. This guy, he said a number. I won't put the number that he wanted to do out sales-wise here, but he's a pretty competitive individual, and that's kind of what keeps me coming back on top of, having access to learning from a vet. But you go, oh, I like pressure. And when I'm pressured, I tend to get up and get after a little bit more, knowing that there's now a whole idea to build out here with his help, for damn sure. But, what keeps you kind of so motivated, man?
I think it's just personal competitiveness. I think it's just the way I grew up.
Yeah.
Nowadays, and it's not to talk bad about it, but you have participation trophies and ribbons, and I didn't have that.
My dad threw that shit in the trash.
We throw it away.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can be proud of your second and your third places. Whatever. You didn't win it. That's fine. But we're not going to celebrate competing. If I grew up playing competitive soccer at a young age, and it's like, if you didn't win, you didn't win.
Yeah.
You're not going to celebrate for not standing on the podium.
That part right there. And you're a parent too. So I know that even being a parent, you go, man, I want to make sure you talk about raising strong kids or next generation. It's not rooted in this all the time. It's rooted in reality. And life is full of a lot of rude awakenings. especially if you got participation points your whole life. You say, well, I thought it don't work that way, buddy. A loss is a loss, whether you lose, in this case, sometimes a dog. Hell, we lost dogs. You lose some money. That's always a significant loss. You go, damn, which means you got to go make some more money, man. What's the key, do you think, to being a good vet then, or to like building a thriving clinic? Like, how does that work? Oh, that's a hard one, man. That's got to be
tough. I think the competitive nature without looking at the money.
Yeah.
Like, how many pets can I help successfully day in, day out? What puts this clinic apart from the Banfield right down the road? What puts us apart from the other clinic right down the road? And it has nothing to do with money. It just, what is our client satisfaction like? What kind of medicine are we practicing? Are we practicing trashy, get them in, get them out? Are we practicing gold standard? Are we practicing in between? Whatever that answer is, are people happy with us? Are they referring us to their friends? Word of mouth is the biggest and best advertisement you can ask for. So
your I guess business focus is making sure that customer satisfaction is there.
Yeah.
Which literally builds your business. Either customers appreciate you, or there's a high attrition rate in the vet space. And I know because we get tons of messages of people who don't trust the vet. And part of what we're doing is working on other ways that you can connect to someone like a Tadlock and build your business. What would be some of your best advice to other veterinarians that are maybe in school, just out there starting out, man?
In terms of
just life, business, getting into this field, not being discouraged, suicide being a number one, killer, if you would, for people in this space. And then if they don't have a killer mentality like yourself, to set those markers, you'll turn around and you'll kind of fail waiting for someone to come through the door versus like, guys, what can we do better to keep people coming through the door?
I think the biggest thing is just having, throughout your whole life, you've had a close-knit circle. Mm-hmm. Most people, whether that's your people you grew up with, people you met in high school, college, vet school, whatever it is, keeping that tight community through it, especially if, like, I have a handful of friends that are veterinarians from my class. It's like, we talk occasionally. Hey, how are you doing? Like, what are we doing? Keeping that helps your mental health. I think a lot of people in every occupation comes out of school or starts a new job, how much money can I make? And I get it, because student loan debt in veterinary medicine is incredible. I had an old man ask me last night, how much did you graduate with? I said $251,000. He graduated in '79 with $10,000.
Jesus.
Of debt.
And he probably is a great vet.
Oh, I bet he's outstanding. He's out in Colorado. I was just talking to him. But it's just, that burden, I think, is getting ahead of people. And they're just like, how much money do I need to make in order to pay that off? Like, I'm worth it. If I'm a new grad, I'm worth this because I'm a DVM. Like, I'm worth it just because. Like, you might have to prove yourself. And that's fine. It's going to take, the biggest learning curve is the first 6 to 18 months. And I don't think we talk about it. I don't think there's that many mentors or that many veterinarians that want to mentor young vets to push them and see them succeed, because we're always worried about ourselves. We are very selfish.
Man, look, I'm just here inquiring today, and I'm learning a lot just from this dialogue, if you would. I don't know enough about the vet space. I told Ted I wanted to come and learn, and even more importantly, I wanted to put my dogs in the best position and animals possible. And I think it does take being mentored, and partnering with someone who has pets as a primary focus. But even you saying that, it seems like, and this is even in the dog, and I think many spaces, where do people go? And clearly we don't know the answer today, to be mentored and learn from people better than them.
There's some Facebook groups for just veterinarians, like a forum. You could post a question and you'll get 50 vets reply to you. Nobody's in there that's not a vet. I guess those Facebook groups, you answer questions, whatever.
Yeah, they do it. You got to approve and all that stuff. Maybe show your license. They do it in the whiskey communities too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So there's that. There's something called VIN that we can log on to, that you can ask a question, or you can search your question because it's probably been asked, and you can find the answer or drug dosages or what drug to use. Other than that, you just phone a friend who can phone a friend who can phone a friend.
But what you just talked about too, though, because
telephone.
I don't know if it's a super concern in the vet space, but I think depression is one of those growing things nowadays as well. And the irony is you don't think it's possible until it's probable. And then it kind of sets in. You go, well, what the fuck's happening to me? And you don't recognize that you're kind of in a slump, right? So what I've learned too is the power of making a phone call. Like having that phone call. All those tools are good, but like you said, if you can find a good close knit people and like communicate with them or just like talk about it at times when things are going wrong, hell, when they're going right, that would probably benefit them just as much.
100%.
We're gonna try to help figure that out, people. You know, we've highlighted the power of basically being an entrepreneur and definitely Tadlock, and we want to keep. We got a mission here, believe me. That's why we up here. But I wanted to make sure we continue to bridge that gap because I told you guys who are watching us at FBTV that we've got big dreams, high hopes, a lot of goals, and it's a matter of execution. So this for us, I spent 6 years getting to this very point, and the next 18 months to 3, if not 5 years, we'll be at the right place at the right time because of partnerships like, One Way with Tadlock and him thinking bigger, man. What triggered the thought for you to compete potentially in the online pharmacy space?
I don't know.
You know, sometimes great ideas come out of nowhere.
Honestly, don't know. I just woke up and was like, what do you think?
And then I went down my rabbit hole, started reading business plan. I said, oh, this is interesting. And even more importantly, when we talked about the FDA getting involved and them preventing certain drugs from being housed, and I said, oh, one of the biggest businesses on earth next to manufacturing and distribution is actually logistics. So knowing how to move things, store them, all that other stuff, those are big data-driven businesses. So I've looked at it collectively, where to be, where to start, and how to get it going. But it's going to start with the brand. And part of the branding is you guys trusting a guy like Tadlock, and then us having a space for you to go and get things and reach out to, potentially a small AI version of Tadlock at some point and get answers. And then every now and then do some lives and some other stuff to help you better your pet's life. The pet problems are going to keep increasing. That's for fact. I'm betting on things getting worse, believe it or not. When it comes to health and most things in life, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it only gets better when we know where to start. Mm-hmm. And the way some of these fools is breeding, I know for a fact more problems are on their way. And we want to be at the right place at the right time to help the best we can. But we're not God. Anything you want to leave them with, man, because this is one of those just business ones, letting them see the perspective. Hey, we try to get up here and work with you and learn from you. And clearly we bring our dogs up here. But even more importantly, I know how hard it is to find a good vet. I've had tons of them, literally, probably 12 vets in almost 15 years. And even when I thought we found a good one, I was like, man, he's better. He's better. And we have been with them for some time. I ain't giving no shout outs. So I ain't saying their names because we're here now. But you go, they're not bad, but then there was too many variables in there because you get this doctor one day and go, I don't like her. And you get this doctor, he's, oh, she's great. You get this one, you go, why is she being so rude? And this was like in the same place. Oh, so-and-so's do your C-section day. Oh, so-and-so's, it's too many attitudes, man. Too many attitudes. I can tell you this. We come in, we get out of his way, and at some point he knows we're here to do a little work. And mind you, he's no problem with us roaming around and hanging out and, learning all we can. But I've never seen the attitude shift. That's what drives me crazy too. So you go, I just want a vet that cares and that I can learn from. And I didn't feel like other places gave me that opportunity. Yeah. Any last words, man?
I think going off of that is you got to remember everybody's human.
Yeah.
Obviously, like everybody's got their baseline of attitude or their demeanor or whatever. There's days that, yes, I'm personable, I'm friendly, whatever. I have bad days, and I'll be the first to tell you, hey, let's just not do this today. But it's just like, I just encourage everybody to just go look up not one more vet. You'll find that just goes off the suicide, mental health stuff. Just off of the not one more vet as in let's not have one more vet commit suicide. It is a hard job.
Is that a website?
I think they've got a website. I know there's a Facebook. I'm pretty sure there's a Facebook group. There's a lot of information on Google about it.
So Not One More Vet is an organization to help.
Yeah, and if you see the abbreviation, it's just NOMV, and then the V is the vet emblem. So you'll see like people, like veterinarians or technicians or whatever, will change their profile picture with that little filter on it. So I just encourage everybody to go look at it.
So, I definitely going to take a look myself because I've never heard of that myself.
Yeah.
But you never know what somebody's going through, which I will concur. I always tell people, don't make nobody's day worse. And I think to close this out, guys, find you a good vet. Definitely somebody who's willing to work with you, and definitely take care of your dog. Until next time, man.